Okay, so this is the second shot at this video. Because I completely left out a date. So my boyfriend arrived on the 21st of December from where he was stationed at, and this all started on the 26th when I heard this. I'll post and I'll add in like little video clips, but I slept in the living room and I let Eric and the baby have my bed because I just have a little mattress on the floor, and I heard this god awful noise on the baby camera, because I still had the baby camera on, but I didn't have the video up on my phone, if that makes sense. And I jumped off the couch and I ran into the bedroom. I said, "Is everything okay?" And Eric had told me, he was fine until you came in here. And I'm like, he made a noise that didn't sound normal to me. And I found him a passy and I gave it, I tried giving it to him. The baby started dry heaving. And he just, after a period of time from dry heaving, he just went limp.
I was trying to help it, like, push.
I know, something's not good. Okay, we're gonna have to take him to the emergency room. Hunter. 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 Hey.
It's like it's there, but it ain't.
I know. Okay, it's okay.
Did he?
No. Okay, hey. Hey.
He's like probably just too focused on like trying to throw up. That's why he's probably not. Yeah.
Okay, hey.
Well, at least he responded today.
It's okay. Baby, you okay? I know. Come on. We're gonna go to the hospital, okay? Still alert, like his eyes were still open, but he just wasn't there. It was weird. And like I could, not violently shake him, but shake him, say, "Hunter, Hunter, Hunter," and he just wasn't there. And he obviously was all calm about it because he's never been around something like this before. But me, I was trying to panic. I was panicking without panicking, if that made sense. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? I am not even messing around. I'm taking him to the emergency room. And I took him to the emergency room. He obviously came with me. They did a 30-minute EEG, which was normal, which was awesome. They did the MRI. The MRI looked good. Let's see. And then they sent us home on the 27th. We stayed home until about the 29th. It was that afternoon when I had logged onto the baby camera. Something told me to log onto the baby camera, and I did. And when I did that, Hunter had projectile vomit Not once, not twice, but like 4 or 5 times. And then I texted Eric. He had Andrew. He was having a little guy's day with Andrew. And I said, I'm going to have to take the baby in the emergency room. He just projectile vomited a few times. And he said he would come home, leave the baby with me, leave Andrew with my mom, clean up the bed and all that. And then he met me at the hospital. We had a horrible group of nurses. I felt like they didn't really care. They didn't take his condition seriously. He has, as y'all know, he's got the COL4A1 mutation. And he had his MRI, and long story short, the neurosurgeon pretty much sent us home with no answers. And so he could stay here, be monitored, which is pretty much the same thing you'll be doing at home. And at that point, I was just bawling my eyes out. I kept telling him, it's the shunt, there's something wrong with the shunt. You know, you need to like lower it or something. And he just was like, whatever. And we were sent home with no answers. And then it was around 8 o'clock that night. I didn't even have one foot in my doorway, and he projectile vomited, like exorcist style projectile vomited, everything that he ate in the emergency room, all over me, all down my jacket, everywhere. And
damn, I tried telling him something was wrong.
I looked at my mom. My mom's like, oh God. I was like, yeah, I know. I said, I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to the hospital just like that. The baby's covered in puke. I'm covered in puke. I don't care. At least it was great. Gatorade. It could have been worse. But I went to the hospital covered in vomit. Baby covered in vomit. I didn't care. I was just so mad that at that point I just did not care. And luckily we had a good group of nurses and doctors this time, and they took his condition seriously. The on-call neurosurgeon came in and they lowered his shunt. They admitted us because I don't know if y'all remembered. I don't know if I told y'all, but in the last video, when he got his shunt revision, his programmable shunt, and like 2 weeks later, his neurosurgeon notched his shunt up from a 2 to a 3. And so that night in the emergency room, the second time, they lowered it back down to a 2, and then they admitted us. So in this picture, you're probably wondering why he's covered in blood. It happened around, I think it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. It was about 30 minutes after the nurse took his vitals. I was woken up to, oh no, what did you do? And it was the nurse. And let's just say Hunter decided he was going to take the no-nut off and pull his IV completely out of his arm. So his bed looked like a crime scene. It was ridiculous with how much blood there was. There was blood on the floor. He was covered in blood. His entire bed was covered in blood. The whole canopy was covered in blood. The bed rails was covered in blood. I was like, oh my God. It was ridiculous. And he was fine. They sent us home the next day, which was the 30th, just in time for New Year's. And we didn't get home till like late that night because my anxiety was so bad. So we just kind of let him, do his own thing. He was fine. And then a few days later, I think it was like in the first of the year, he, kind of was holding his head, and, me being paranoid, I, of course, I took him to the emergency room just to get him checked out, but he was fine. And thankfully, he has not been back since, knock on wood. So, and Eric went back. He'll be out sometime in June, maybe July. And that, I think, covers that story. So I wanted to add another part. He's sleeping. To this video. He almost had to go back due to a really bad finger infection. But thankfully that cleared up. I'll show you the picture. But other than that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my videos. Night, y'all.